This is what happens when you don't make electric cars at a factory. You get fired, the plant gets shut down. That's what Stellantis just did to what was once one of the most productive and efficient factories, car factories in the world. In fact, it won awards for having more automation than any other factory in the world, period, and was unique for being able to automate production completely on its body line using advanced robotics. Now, though, they've all fallen behind, and the vehicles made there are gasoline only. Clearly, Stellantis doesn't see a future for that type of powertrain, nor do consumers. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Electric Viking. Great to see you. Welcome to all the new subscribers. Welcome back, everyone else. Thank you for tuning in and thank you for subscribing to the channel. It's great to have you. And it's very interesting to see this domino fall. Whenever I see someone playing dominoes, or I saw a video the other day of an advertisement for a child's toy. The toy it's actually a domino creation thing. It's like a little truck. You load it up dominoes and then you press a button and it automatically creates a stack of dominoes for you. So you can just touch one domino and they all go down. Isn't that interesting? That little analogy there. Touch one domino and they all go down. How long before the dominoes start to fall? Well, it's here. They're starting to fall already. Here's an example of what I'm talking about. Have you seen the data? Have you seen the data for the actual productivity of Chinese car factories, which are owned by Western automakers, or at least 50-50 joint ventures where they produce gasoline-powered cars? Most of them are hitting at best 40%. 40%. Now, all of these automakers, they're saying this stuff. They're saying, oh, we just can't make enough cars. We just can't produce enough vehicles. Well, there's so much demand. We just can't meet demand. That's what we're hearing. We're hearing a lot of this, right? You know what? Last week, the US hit an incredible milestone. There's more stock in dealers' yards than there has been in 3 years. 3 years. Does that sound like, really? There's so much demand that they can't hit it? Well, production capacity in these Chinese factories, where around, 35% of the world's cars are made, for the biggest car market in the world of 27 million cars per year in a total global car market of about 76 million cars. You can see just how important the Chinese car market is for these automakers. It gives you an idea. They're hitting 30% capacity. 30%. So what about in America? What's happening at these factories, right? How long before more of these factories are shut down? General Motors is trying to convert their factories. They're trying to change them so they can produce more EVs. But do you remember when General Motors first sold their plant to Tesla? What did they sell it for? They sold it for a fraction of what it cost. Now, what is Stellantis going to do with this car factory? They plan on doing nothing with it. They plan on shutting it down. It's actually one of the biggest car factories in the world. And it's sitting on 280 acres of land. Now, you would think this would be a factory that, all the fanboys who think that it's easy to start making EVs en masse, they would tell you this is the perfect site for EVs. Scientists, when they're ready, they'll just produce millions of EVs from this productive, incredibly efficient factory. Well, Stellantis clearly disagree with those people. They're saying, well, you know what? That factory makes gasoline-powered cars. It's going to cost us X number of billions to change it, to make EVs. It's not the right facility to make EVs. Let's just shut it down. This is a massive write-off for the company. Imagine the billions of dollars they have to write off when they close a factory site like this. This is a 280-acre parcel of land. What's it going to do? Who's going to buy it? What's it going to be worth to someone else? A fraction of what it's worth to Stellantis' book value. Have you seen the book values of these car companies? Like Toyota says it has hundreds of billions of dollars worth of value in their factories. Sure, maybe Toyota thinks it's worth that much to them. What's it worth to everyone else when those car factories only produce gasoline-powered cars and no one wants them anymore? You see what's happening. The dominoes are beginning to fall. They're going to fall fast. They're going to fall hard. Imagine this. Imagine when by 2026, 50% of global car production is electric. How fast will the dominoes start to fall then? Now, we've seen the truth behind the lies. What do I say? What do I mean by the truth behind the lies? The media is lying to you constantly. They're telling us that any moment companies like Volkswagen can just quickly turn one of their gasoline factories that makes gasoline-powered cars or diesel-powered cars into a productive, efficient EV making powerhouse. And we've realized that was a complete fabrication, a complete manipulation of the facts. We've got companies like Volkswagen admitting defeat, admitting that they're slowing down their electric car production simply because it costs them too much to make an EV. They don't do it efficiently. We've got companies like Volkswagen admitting that their production, their biggest factory in the world in Wolfsburg, is only running at 30% capacity. That's the biggest in the world. Now, clearly, Volkswagen admitted there's unprecedented demand for EVs. We've seen these waiting lists for EVs. They're enormous. So why isn't Volkswagen using that factory to efficiently produce EVs like all the fanboys said they would? I'll tell you why. It doesn't work that way. You cannot just magically change a factory. It takes years. It takes the right platform. It takes a whole series of different things to come together to produce the kind of magic needed to make an affordably priced, competitive, and good quality electric car. Stellantis' factory that just closed down was built in 1964 in the south part of Belvidere, Illinois, adjacent to US Route 20. The first production line vehicle was made on the 7th of July 1965, assembling the new Chrysler C platform vehicles. And just think, this factory has been able to exist now for nearly 60 years. The Belvidere assembly plant is adjacent to the Chrysler-operated Belvidere satellite stamping plant. The stamping plant produces steel metal parts for the production line. The factory has 5,300,000 square feet of floor space. That's 490,000 square meters. That's across 280 acres. And in 2006, the factory became the first Chrysler plant to use a body shop consisting entirely of robotics. That was 16 years ago. The 780 robots at the time in the body shop could make necessary tool changes automatically within a 47-second cycle time. The factory is capable of building 3 models of vehicles as well as test building a 4th vehicle. Now you would think with this much robotics that are capable of this level of change, why wouldn't they just easily change the data, change the inputs, make those robots make EVs? Just put the data in, do it, go and make them. That's what a lot of people thought would happen. It didn't work that way. The simulation room comprises 38,000 square feet, 3,500 square meters of the factory, and is used to create a miniature production process and to test the layout of job stations and creating standard work instructions. A 2-foot grid is painted on the floor to measure dimensions and employee walk time during simulated production and efficiency modeling. In October 2010, it was announced that $600 million was to be invested into the Belvidere assembly plant in preparation for 2012 model year vehicles to be built there. The Dodge Dart was announced in December of 2011 to be built at the plant. As of only a few years ago, 2,500 employees were working at the plant. Soon, there will be none. The union is angry. They're saying this plant shouldn't shut down. They demand it stays open. Literally, they are literally demanding the plant stays open. They said it's an outrage. This plant should simply stay open to serve those employees and the union. Capitalism isn't really relevant in this situation. Neither is profit. Clearly the reason Stellantis closed the plant is because it no longer makes a profit and isn't useful to the company and its future. Why is that? Because the future of the world is electric cars. And old assembly plants making gasoline-powered vehicles cannot be changed as easily as people say. Otherwise, why on earth would Ford be building billions of dollars of new electric car factories if it could simply repurpose its old ones? It wouldn't make any sense. And there's the answer. Legacy automakers have billions of dollars in write-downs coming over the next decade. The media is ignoring this. They're pretending this avalanche of write-offs is never going to happen. Well, as we can see, the first dominoes are starting to fall. Thank you for watching.